Okay, great. So thank you. Welcome to class. Glad that you are here participating. We'll first just start out in a comfortable seated position as we just begin to transition from whatever we were doing, thinking about taking care of before class, to just having a little time for ourselves. I'm Victoria O'Neill. This class is Plenty. And as you just begin to transition to this time, this container of a space, we'll first start to just notice our breath. Notice the quality of it, the temperature. And you don't have to extend it or overextend it right now. And if possible, see if you can allow your breath to feel like you returning to yourself, like you coming back home, like using every breath as a pathway back to you. The you that's always been there ever since you were first born, the you that will continue to be there up until your last breath. If you have an intention or a dedication for your practice today, a specific one, go ahead and send those thoughts up. Maybe there's someone that you know who is in need of support and good energy. It could be someone you know or yourself or both. May all beings be of benefit from our practice today, from our time together, from how we move our minds, bring our spirit into a still place, a good place. May all beings be free. And your next breath will go ahead and come to standing mountain pose on your mat. So arms down by your side, just standing up nice and tall. The first part of today's practice is a Meridian Activation technique where we're slapping and using our knuckles and kind of using our fists to awaken and to activate our meridian pathways. So first one is going to be stomach. So we'll take our 3 middle fingers and then we'll slowly start to, gently start to tap right beneath our eyes, onto our cheeks, over our chins, over the sides of our throat, our collarbone. And then once you get past your breasts or your chest, then you go ahead and you can use the palm of your hand to hit your lower belly, hit tops of your thighs. We're gonna go all the way down your thighs, the fronts of your shins. This is our stomach pathway. It begins beneath our eyes, on tops of your feet, and then squeeze your second toe. And it ends right there, right where we're squeezing our stomach pathway. And then we're gonna continue, we're gonna slap with a little bit of force. Don't give yourself a bruise, but a little bit of force. Slap coming all the way back up, just like we went down. The stomach pathway mantra is I am nourished. Maybe even give your lower belly, your mid belly, like a little bit extra slaps here. I am nourished, because that's what the stomach pathway wants. It wants to be nourished. It doesn't want to have to be in our head and overthinking too much. And so as you go over your chest or your breasts, we'll just tap lightly so you don't hurt yourself. You can tap over your collarbones, over the sides of your neck, and then we'll come up towards beneath our eyes. And so we'll go back down this time, same thing. We're gonna continue to tap down our face. We don't wanna slap or punch our face. And continue to go down over your breasts, over your chest. And then once you get to your belly, go ahead and form 2 fists, right? And then we'll begin to knock on your belly. Yep. I am nourished. And even if those words don't necessarily ring the most true right now, we concentrate on this area. We concentrate on this pathway. We're going all the way down to our second big toe again. We concentrate, we breathe, and we consider this notion. We consider this notion that I am nourished. And now we'll come all the way back up. Knocking as we come up. I am nourished. Our stomach holds a good amount of sorrow and worry, especially as you go back over your chest or breast. Just tap gently. So we just want to help to displace some of that. And we'll tap going all the way back up towards our eyes and come back to standing mountain pose. So again, we tapped over our stomach pathway and we considered the notion of I am nourished. I am nourished. Next pathway is our gallbladder pathway. So it runs alongside our body. So we'll start to tap going like by our rib cage or almost like underneath our armpits. So we'll tap going here. We'll kind of slap right over our hips. Our hips can take a little bit more. Our gallbladder pathway, those mantras, and we're going to go all the way down to the outsides of our heels. The gallbladder mantras are I forgive, I grow, and I learn. I forgive, I grow, and I learn. We just think it. Continue to think it till it takes hold. Once you come all the way up, then make little make little fists here with your hands, and then like you're running them alongside your ribs, right? As high up as you can get. Almost like you're trying to scratch your ribs with your knuckles, run up and down. And if you're like me, it may be kind of tender there. It's because I need to do some forgiving. All right, and then with your fists, go ahead and run them. We're gonna knock, right? We're gonna hit our sides with our fists. So we'll go ahead and knock over our hips, the outsides of our legs, outsides of our knees. Be gentle around your sweet knees, your calves, ankles, and come all the way back up. I forgive, I grow, and I learn. Forgive, I grow, and I learn. And then lastly, one more time, we'll make our fists and then run it up and down our ribs. And then get your 3 middle fingers, and we're going to tap alongside the sides of our neck. Okay, so tap alongside here. And breathe. And then take that tapping back behind your ears. Okay, on both sides. Behind your ears. Take your time here. I forgive. I learn. And I grow. Go over your ears. And then you're going to come across your temples. I forgive. I grow. And I learn. And then come over your forehead. And then come back to the sides of your eyes. And just tap here with me for a moment. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Come back to standing mountain pose. If the gallbladder activation felt especially like invigorating or like it was really hitting where it needed to, it's because right now in the season of spring, it's gallbladder and liver are the 2 organs that are associated with spring. So those ones are going to be really especially receptive to the meridian activation and the stretching that we're going to do in a minute. Next is going to be our urinary bladder meridian, which runs alongside the back of our body. So first we're going to use your opposite hand, and actually first we'll do with the open hand. Use your opposite hand and go across your chest, and then like you're trying to give yourself almost like a pat on the back, okay? And then use your fist and do the same thing. And actually with the loose hand, with the hand that's not doing the knocking, go ahead and kind of shake it. Shake it a little bit. It's like you're trying to get it to not be uptight. Okay, and then we'll do the same thing opposite side. We'll reach over your shoulder and kind of do some patting. Give yourself a pat on the back. Back for showing up. It is not easy to do, I understand. And then we'll knock across our shoulder, and then with that loose hand, just go ahead and shake it. Just shake it free, shake it free. And then come back to standing mountain pose. We'll reach back behind us, and with open hands, we'll start to slap going down our back side, our lower back, our glutes. Come down the backs of your hamstrings, backs of your knees, your calves, your ankles, the back of your heels. And then we'll come back up. The back body or urinary bladder pathway mantra is, I trust, I trust. We'll come all the way back up, and then we'll make fists, and then we'll knock in the back. Maybe spend a couple extra breaths or a little extra time here on in the kidneys and on the glutes. And then come all the way down. I trust. The back body deals with the past, deals with our experience. Front body is our future. It's our potential. Both need to have balance. Come all the way back up with your fists. And we'll come back to standing mountain pose. I trust. I trust is the back body mantra. And if you feel the little tingling, the little almost like ant-like feeling, it is your chi, your prana, your fire, right? Beginning to like wake up and remember and feel invigorated. All right, meridian stretching now. So we'll go ahead, send our arms out towards the side. Our palms are facing up, and our thumbs are going to be reaching back, almost like you're trying to reach your thumbs together. But of course, it's not, most likely not going to happen. This is our lung stretch here, our lung pathway. It begins in our thumbs. The lungs correlate rather with the throat chakra. They deal with loss and sadness and being able to speak up for oneself. They also deal with elimination when you think about the breath, how the breath is brought in and then you eliminate it. It deals with letting go. And so we'll reach back a little bit more, and this may be a little challenging. So we see if we can just breathe through the parts that feel challenging. One more breath here, inhale. And then we'll release our left hand down towards our side. We'll flip our right palm over, point with your right pointer finger back towards that back right corner. Inhale as you take your chin over your left shoulder and then drop your chin down just a little bit. It probably won't take too much for you to feel it, but go ahead and drop it down. This is our large intestine stretch. Our large intestine stretch pathway rather begins in our pointer finger. So we're going to follow this path. This Meridian yoga technique, it is 3 parts. It's concentration, it's breath, and it's stretching. So put your concentration first in your right pointer finger as you really point back a little bit more. And then we're going to follow the stretch. So we concentrate, we follow the stretch over your right hand, over your right forearm, right elbow crease, over your right bicep, right shoulder, right side of your neck. Go over your chin, go across your face, and then land on the outside of your left nostril. Take one more breath here. Inhale. Exhale as you release your right hand down. Woo. That one doesn't take long to feel. We'll do the same thing opposite side. Lift your left arm up, point with your left pointer finger, and then send it back towards the back left corner. Inhale, take your chin over your right shoulder, and then drop, or at least just lean your chin down towards your shoulder, your right shoulder. Large intestine stretch on this other side. The large intestine is also paired with the lung, as it also deals in elimination and letting go. If you realize, right, the physical sense of elimination. We can't hold things in forever. We gotta let things go. We gotta make space, make room for new things to come, for new things to occupy us and fill us. So we'll go ahead, put your concentration in your left pointer finger as you really stretch back behind you, and then we'll follow the pathway, go over your left hand, left wrist, left forearm, left elbow crease, left bicep, left shoulder, go over the left side of your neck, go across your chin, go across your face, and then land on the outside of your right nostril. That's where the large intestine pathway ends. One more breath here. Inhale, exhale as you release your left hand down, return your face back towards the front. Pericardium stretches next. Arms out towards your side, and then flip your wrists up like you're trying to hold yourself up in a elevator, right? That's trying to close, or 2 walls, or coming down beside you. So you want to hold yourself up. Press into your wrist crease. That's where our pericardium pathway begins. Our pericardium is this protective sac that's over your heart. It helps in love, connection, friendship. It is an organ that flaps open and shuts closed, open and close. Excuse me. And both are necessary. Open and close. So press here a little bit more through your wrist crease. As you inhale, imagine that you're only filling up the left side of your lungs. So inhale here, only in the left, and as you exhale, press through your left wrist crease. Press, press, press. And then we'll do the same thing on the right side. So inhale just like you're filling the right side of the lungs, and then exhale as you press through your right wrist crease. And then we'll do both. Inhale both sides of your lungs. Exhale, press through both wrist creases. Nice. Go ahead, release your arms down towards the side. I forgot to mention, but anytime you need to towel off or take some water, please go ahead and do that. Take care of yourself. Okay, facing forward, open up your palms. Actually, I'm sorry, I forgot one important part. We're gonna circle our shoulders. Circle your shoulders forward, up, back, and then down. It's important to do that. Then we flip our palms and open them towards the front of our practice space. And then we want to act like we're reaching down, like we're trying to almost scoop up the earth beneath us. This is our triple heater stretch. So inhale here, exhale, drop your chin down towards your sternum, and then slide your chin towards your left armpit. And then reach down some more, as much as you can without hurting yourself, with your right ring finger, okay? So you're looking over towards your left armpit, and your right ring finger is pulling down. You should feel a pretty nice stretch across your right shoulder blade, maybe your tricep here. This is our triple heater stretch. Triple heater is heart, lungs, and chest. Heart, lungs, and chest. It is our protective energy. And we need protective energy, but we don't need it to be too protective, where we're not experiencing being open to the things that need to move us, need to affect us. Take one more breath here. Inhale. Exhale, return your chin back down towards your sternum, and then slide it over towards your right armpit. And then we're going to reach down some more through our left ring finger, like you're trying to scoop up the earth beneath you. Triple heater stretch, or sometimes it's called triple warmer. Same thing. Heart, lungs, and chest are protective energies. We breathe here, and we remember that we have what we need in order to protect ourselves, in order to be safe, in order to be smart, in order to make good decisions for ourselves. Inhale here. Exhale, return your chin back down towards your sternum, and then lift your chest up. Good job. Next is heart and small intestine. So first is heart. So we'll extend our arms out towards the side. Pinkies are facing down, and then our palms are facing towards the front. And then get a little bend in your elbow, like just a little bit. And when you do that, almost like feel kind of like flex, like you're almost trying to do like a fly, or I forget what you call that. Some kind of, chest press or something, right? So bend your elbows a little bit, and then feel that activation through your biceps and a little bit of your chest. And you should also feel perhaps the center, like a deep part of your armpit. That's what we're wanting. So you bend your elbows and you kind of flex a little bit, activate a little bit. And we find, so search with your mind the deepest part of your armpit. That's our heart pathway. That's where our heart pathway starts, is in the deepest parts in our armpit. Inhale here. As you exhale, extend your arms back out, and then rotate your left arm in towards your body and keep rotating, rotating. And then you're going to slide it across your back and then up. I like to use a towel or a strap. And then with your right arm, send it up above you. And then flip your palm towards the back of the room. And then bend your right elbow. So essentially, what you're trying to go for is your hands touching. Or maybe if you don't have a strap or a towel, you can use your shirt. That also works. But I'll just turn around so you can see. Maybe your hands are together or maybe not, like mine. This is our heart and stomach pathway stretch. So whatever is back behind your head, maybe it's your bicep, lovely job. Maybe it's your bicep or your forearm, whatever is back behind your head, press the back of your head into it. So as you do that, you're doing like a chest opening almost, right? It doesn't have to be very much because I'm sure you're already feeling it. But when we do that, it just helps the stretch to be a little bit more activated, a little deeper. So it's heart on the right hand side, right? Because we remember heart pathway begins in the deepest part of our armpit. And then it's small intestine on the left. And the small intestine pathway begins beneath our left shoulder blade. And so we just press our chest forward, press our head into our whatever's back behind it, press your chest out a little bit. And remember that nothing is temporary, right? The good news is nothing is temporary. The bad news is nothing is temporary. Or nothing is forever. Hold on, everything's temporary? Darn it. It's too early. I'm trying to drop a gem here and okay. All right, guys. Forget about it. All right, inhale here. Bend your knees a little bit and we're just going to forward fold. But take your time and you don't have to go all the way. But forward fold here as much as you can. Inhale as you rise back up. And then take your time. Don't hurt yourself as you unwind yourself. We'll do the same thing other side. So with both arms out extended, rotate your right arm and keep rotating it in towards your body. Go across your back and then up. Left arm comes up and then you face your palm towards the back. Bend your left elbow and then you grab for your hand, your shirt, a towel, a strap, a sock. Okay, so adjust yourself and you'll notice that each side is different, is definitely different. But we don't judge or compare too much. Whatever's back behind your head, press your head into it. And we put our concentration into the deepest part of our left armpit, our heart pathway, and that is the point that is closest to the heart anatomically. Heart dealing with love, passion, connection, friendship, and then small intestine on the right pathway beginning at the bottom of the right shoulder blade. And also pairing with the heart for connection and for love. It's like the second brain, right, is in our bellies, in our gut. And spending time in these positions while considering them helps to make them formidable, helps to make them strong and remember themselves. That's why we do this. You may wonder, why am I doing this? We're doing this to remember ourselves, to remember we got good stuff. Inhale here, press your head into whatever's back behind you, bend your knees a little bit, forward fold, one breath, exhale. Inhale all the way up. Exhale as you unwind your hands and then drop your hands down towards your side. Nice job. We're gonna do some side stretches here. Side, front, and back stretches. As I mentioned earlier, I want to take a sip of water too, guys. As I mentioned earlier, spring is associated with gallbladder and liver. And side body, if you remember, is the gallbladder pathway. So this is the time to be like reinforcing it, okay? Gallbladder regulates our emotions and our breath, right? Because we hear gallbladder and we're like, okay, cool, it's something inside me. It does something, right? But it regulates emotions and breath. It allows us to express our emotions as well and work hard and achieve our goals. All right, we're gonna come into Kali Mudra hand. So your fingers are interlaced, your thumbs and your pointer finger, or like love guns, sometimes they call it. I like Kali Mudra better. And send your hands up above your head. And then send your shoulders down, so that way there's space around your neck. Cool. And then see if you can feel all four corners of each foot, right? The tops, the sides, the backs, and then the insides. And then even though it may feel like this, what we're doing right now is mostly about the upper body, it's really about the stability of our lower body. So begin to make everything really, really strong. So, you know, we're gonna squeeze our calves, squeeze your thighs, squeeze your glutes, draw your belly back and up. Now don't cut off your breath, okay? But allow your abdominal organs and your stomach organs to come up, up, up. Inhale here, and then as you exhale, slowly begin to bend towards the right. This is our gallbladder stretch here. Stretching the left side of our body. Our left side is related to our feminine side. It's related to our mothers. It's the lunar side of us. And the gallbladder pathway, we're going to just spend a little time here. And if you remember, the mantra is, I forgive, I learn, and I grow. I forgive, I learn, and I grow. And I'm repeating this, that way it takes hold. It takes hold in our mind, and we're breathing and contemplating it, so that we may make it feel real. We may make it our reality. One last breath here. Inhale. And then use your core as you rise back up. We'll do the same thing opposite side. Get everything. If you need to, like, you know, kind of let go of your hands or your legs for a second, maybe even shake it out. And then we'll activate again. So Kali Mudra hands up above your head. Send your hands up and then send your shoulders down. Find all four corners of your feet and then start to strengthen everything below you. Everything below you. As in your calves, your thighs, your glutes, your belly. Spring is also associated with eyes and vision, right? We got to know what we see. We have to be able to call it, make a blueprint, make a plan. Inhale here. Exhale, bend towards the left as we stretch our gallbladder side, our right gallbladder side. I forgive, I learn, I grow. Spring does not come subtly. it demands that we come out of where we've been, of who we've been, and make changes. It demands it. So even if it doesn't feel like truth, just contemplate with me one more time. I forgive, I learn, and I grow. One more breath. Inhale, and then we'll raise back up. Bend your knees, and then straighten your legs again, and then we're just going to reach back behind us. And allow, again, your stomach organs and everything to come up. And allow your legs to be really, really strong here. Inhale here. Keep your hands right where they are. Bend your knees, and then we'll just forward fold. And then drop your hands down towards the ground. Bend your knees a whole bunch until your chest touches your thighs. And shake your head free here. Shake it no. Shake it yes. Shake it I don't know. And then slide your hands underneath your feet. If you can, maybe your toes can touch your wrists, okay? But if they don't, that's okay. And again, remember, this is not with straight legs, it's with bent knees. Knees are really, really bent. Nice job. Really, really bent. And hands are beneath your feet. And then press your toes into whatever is underneath them. And bend your elbows a whole bunch. And act as if maybe your head can go between your knees. This should feel nice or maybe a little painful across your shoulders. But again, we make space. We make space. Inhale here. Just gently remove both hands from underneath your feet. This time, go ahead and grab your big toes with your peace fingers and then lock it with your thumb. So you wrap your peace fingers around your big toe. I don't know if I said that right the first time, but grab your big toes with your peace fingers, wrap it with your thumbs. And then keep your fingers right where they are, but inhale as you lift up a little bit, like you're trying to pick your head up. And then exhale, bend your elbows a whole bunch and lean over. The reason that this forward fold here is so powerful is that we're making a circuit, right? Our fingers are connected with our toes, and as we're breathing, it's like we're reinforcing our circuitry. We're reinforcing the flow. We're reinforcing the fact that we're whole, the fact that we got good stuff. So that's why it's powerful. It's like we make contact so we can have electricity. If you want to plug in a hair dryer, but you only put one of the prongs into the plug, guess what? It's not going to turn on. So we make contact to have that electricity. One more breath here. Inhale. Exhale as you release your hands and slowly start to roll all the way up. Lovely job. we'll come to sit on the mat. I may need to fix this a little bit. We'll come to sit on the mat. Come to whatever your most comfortable seated position is. Doesn't have to be anything super challenging. I like coming into hero's pose, sitting on a block. So if you have a block available, you could do that. And then just tilt forward and then grab your flesh behind you, grab your buns, and then pull them out towards the back of you. That way, you're sitting on your spit. Your spit is the place between your sex organs and your anus. So that's where we want to sit, because that's the deepest part of us. We don't want to, normally, if we just sit down, we're literally sitting in our shit. We're literally sitting on, you know, our anus, and we don't need to do that. We need shit behind us. We don't want to be in it, and we don't want it to be in front of us. We want it to be behind us. Okay. Gallbladder 20 is first. So this is an acupressure point for your gallbladder, for your whole body, right? But again, gallbladder being what this season is all about, that's what we're going to do. Gallbladder 20. It's located at the, I'm going to come up a little bit too, that way you can see. It's located at the base of your skull. Let's see, can you see me a little bit? Yeah. The base of your skull on the left and the right. Okay? So, base of your skull, almost to the sides of your neck, but not really. It's like, you know, you feel your ears, it's on the inside of your ears. There should be like a little kind of soft ditch almost. That's gallbladder 20. So play around here. It might, as we come upon these points, sometimes it feels good to use our fingers. You may see, hey, what finger do I like best? For gallbladder 20, I think the thumbs are pretty good. I think those are my favorite. And that kind of depends, right? So play around here and see what fingers feel best, and then give it some attention. We're going to spend like 30 seconds here. As we come into gallbladder 20, remember gallbladder runs alongside the sides of our body. This is such an important spot for headaches, for tension, for pain. Remember, gallbladder regulates our emotions and our breath. So if all we have time for in the day is 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and we come to gallbladder 20, and we breathe, and we remember that, hey, by doing this, I am promoting wellness for my emotions, wellness for my breath, wellness for my life. That is plenty. This is also really good to use, just forgot the balls' names. Shoot. Do I have mine over here? No. Those like lacrosse balls, I forget what they're called, but basically, if you were to put those lacrosse balls or those therapy balls, that's what I was trying to think of. If you put the therapy balls back behind your head and lay back on it, that's also really lovely. Okay, that's gallbladder 20. So put your hands facing up and allow them to rest on your lap for a moment. Just to give that point a little bit of time to breathe. We won't do as many points today because I just want to allow them space to breathe. Gallbladder deals with movement, growth, transformation, and drive. Next point is gallbladder 21. And it is right in between our neck and our shoulder. So it's right like in the center on top. It's almost like the typical thing if someone's like, hey, rub my shoulders, and you go right there for on top, that's gallbladder 21. So what I think is easiest with gallbladder 21 is to use the opposite hand, because if you use your own hand, it's a little hard. So opposite hand, and then there's two different ways. You can either press your hand into it, or you can squeeze it and pull it up. Or you can do a combination of both, okay? Again, another really good place for you to use the therapy ball on, and for you to lay on it, right? Lay on it, put your body weight on it. Gallbladder 21, it really helps the same things. It helps with irritability, helps with anger, right? Sometimes we don't always know why we're angry. Personally, I think a lot of times we inherit a lot of things, and so sometimes it's like it's not even our own trauma, it's not even our own shit, but yet it's in our body. It's like it may not be ours, but it is our responsibility to do something about it, so we don't pass that on to our kids. Let it stop with you. So gallbladder 21. So remember, right? We find the spot, we find the point, and press or squeeze, and we contemplate what it might mean if we were to free ourselves with these techniques. And then we'll do the opposite side. For me, my shoulders are so tight, always, just naturally, that I can't do the squeeze and pick up thing. I have to press, because nothing really comes up. It's all pretty jam-packed in there. And so if you want to know how I came to, these practices and these techniques, it's because I needed them all, and I still need them all. And because I feel like they're so loving and accessible, that's why I want to share it so much. But I mean, this is my therapy too. This is my healing practices too. Gallbladder 21. All right, one more breath here as you press. Exhale as you release that. We have one thing left, which is called the 4 gates. The 4 gates, it's part liver, part large intestine. So liver 3 is, let me just come up here. It is between, hold on, can I do it this way? Let's see. I'm trying to figure out how I show you my foot. It's between the first and second toe, but slide your fingers down. We probably have done this before. It's like one of my favorites. Slide your finger down, and then when you find that little corner, when you find that meeting place, that's where you will press. So I'm going to come out of my my hero pose. And then, again, you slide your finger down. And if you wish, if you come into butterfly pose, you can actually do both at the same time. So up to you. I usually like to do both at the same time so I have more time with both. So, liver 3, a big one. This is so important and big for irritability and pain. This is called the Great Rushing. Great Rushing. Liver 3. You look up anything for traditional Chinese medicine or acupressure or acupuncture for liver, it will show you this point, liver 3. So again, find what finger feels better there, feels best there, or fingers, or what kind of touch feels best there, and do that. And then we're gonna breathe here for 30 seconds. The liver is called the official of planning. The liver is like the architect, which is why the season of spring is associated with liver and gallbladder, right? But the reason is because we need a plan, we need a blueprint for what's ahead of us, for what we want, for what we envision, right? Again, spring also associated with eyes. Eyes allow us to see, allow us to have vision. So all these things, like, it's not coincidental. It's all very much in nature. It's all very much cyclical. So the liver is the official of planning. So future goals, right? We can imagine that as we're here, we're pressing into liver 3, that we are giving space for our blueprint. By spending time here, we're helping to clear out the cobwebs, the stagnation, the chi and energy stagnation, so that we can make a good plan. And then beyond that plan, we can work hard, and then we can achieve those goals. And I'm not saying it has to be some, monetarily, related goals or money. The goal could be to feel well in your body, to feel well in your mind, to not allow people or things or situations to steal and rob your peace. Those are amazing goals. And I think the best goals. So, liver 3. So powerful. And then, so it's the 4 gates, right, that I mentioned. So we go ahead and maybe even just kind of squeeze your feet. And if you want to like elevate this experience, when we're in class or not in class, you could always, of course, take a shower, take a nice bath, nice like mineral salt bath, and then get some nice lotion or oil rather, and do some of these points with the lotion or with some aromatherapy, essential oils. Just a little way to treat yourself, and you don't have to spend a lot of money. Okay, the other 2 points for the 4 gates is large intestine 4. So just like for your liver, it's in between your first and second finger, just like it was in between the first and second thumb, and it's where the 2 bones meet, the 2 metacarpals meet, that ditch, like run up against the bone, and that's the spot. So for me, I like my thumb there. I think it's perfect for your thumb. Okay. When you press there, if it feels like there's something kind of like most likely really tight or kind of pressing back on you, then you extra need it, which usually I do too. So Again, not trying to call anybody out. I need all these things. Okay, so large intestine 4, this is called the Great Eliminator. The Great Eliminator, because it helps to eliminate pain, tension, irritability, anger. Anger is the emotion associated with spring. You know, everything rises to the top. Anger is a top level type emotion. So press here in large intestine 4, the Great Eliminator. This is something you could do whenever, waiting for your car's oil change or anything. You're at work. Spend a little time here. Nobody has to know what you're doing. It's also really great to teach your kids. I think we all should teach our kids how to use our hands for wellness, because you know, most of the time it's accessible. So large intestine 4, elimination. And even though large intestine isn't associated with the spring per se, the 4 gates are important every season, every moment, every challenge. And then we'll switch hands. Again, we'll come between our first and second metacarpal, right? Our first and second finger, and then find that ditch. You may notice that the area that you're pressing on, this may feel different than the other hand. Just something to notice. Again, the Great Eliminator, large intestine 4. If we are overwhelmed in our irritability, our anger, our frustration, our judgment, right? If all those things are so pervasive, guess what? It's not going to leave us a lot of energy or room for good plans, for plans that reflect what we want our futures to look like. Which is why we have to clear out, right? Spring cleaning, all that, all those things that are associated with spring. Spring cleaning. Let's clean out the crap. Let's, you know, you get your broom and you dust everywhere and you clean out the cobwebs and you open the windows and you let the fresh breeze in. You flush your toilets and you wash your clothes and you set a candle on the table. Make things new. Clear out what you're not going to use for your future. Clear out what you don't want to use for your future. Get a good plan. Put it into work. One more breath. One more nice breath here. Inhale. As you exhale, go ahead and release that point. And just want to take a quick little Shavasana, quick little closing pose. So take your time, but make your way onto your back, into your practice space, and draw your knees in towards your chest, and maybe you just kind of roll a little bit on your spine. And then with your knees drawn in, send your knees towards the right and extend your fingers and your gaze towards the left. A nice spinal twist here. Reason being is because spinal twist, again, is going to help us in our gallbladder wellness, because side body, right? Twists are really good for gallbladder wellness. So the twist comes from your spine here. like when you are washing dishes. You have a sponge, and the sponge is collecting water and soap and, you know, grime and all that from washing dishes. If you keep using that same sponge without wringing it out, it gets really heavy and it doesn't work as well. Our bodies are the same way. We need to wring out our body so that what we're not actively using anymore can be released from us, can be eliminated from us, and we can feel lighter and we can be of use again. We can be useful. We can be more powerful again. And spinal twist is a twist, and it is a wringing out, a gentle, right? You don't have to be aggressive about it, but just a gentle wringing out. Take one more breath here and then we'll switch sides. And send your knees towards the left. Extend your right arm and your gaze towards the right. Sometimes we spend too much time in our heads thinking that we're going to logically reason our way into healing, out of suffering. And sometimes we just need to get out of our head and get into our bodies and allow the healing to occur, without necessarily trying to logically understand everything. So get out of your head, get into your body, breathe, move, wring it out, let it be, let it be. Next breath, gently draw your knees back in towards the center, and then extend your legs out long, coming into Shavasana, corpse pose. And if you need to put a pillow or a blanket underneath your knees, a pillow underneath your head, or maybe a rolled up towel or blanket underneath your neck, go for it. Do whatever you need, any little micro adjustments that you might need in order to just fully be comfortable in this position. The benefit of this position, the reason that we come here, is so that way we can allow everything that we did to take hold. We allow the accumulation of the Meridian Activation, the Meridian Stretching, the acupressure points, the mantras, the breath, the contemplating wellness and forgiveness. We let all that take hold. So I'm going to be quiet, and we'll spend about a minute here. And on your next breath, we'll start to bring a little movement back into your body. Wiggle your toes and your fingers. Gently send your head from side to side. And then roll over onto your right side if you're able, coming into fetal position. Draw your knees in towards your chest, wrapping it in tightly. And then rest your head on your right bicep. And we come into this little tucked position, like we were babies, as a way of symbolically signifying our new beginning, as a way of saying, I'm a new person. I'm not the same me that showed up on this mat an hour ago. I don't have to be who I was. I can continue to redefine myself as often as I so choose. Take your time, but on your next breath, gently start to rise up to a seated position. Sorry. And circle sweep your fingers all the way around you. Take your time. As you inhale here, exhale, send your thumbs towards your third eye. May we think kind thoughts. Send your thumbs towards your lips. May we speak goodness into ourselves and others. Send your thumbs towards your heart. May we remember our infinite capacity for love and for compassion. May we remember we're so much more alike than we are different. May we learn to treat one another better. Thank you for allowing me to take you through your practice. That which is in me is honored by and loves all that is in you. Namaste. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
I'm going to